Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Shalom Akim. It's a great millstone, Chicago. Coming back with another little quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations and blessings to all you Achim around the world who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity and with charity. And the spirit just hopped on me just to do a quick lesson about how vast this knowledge is. That you would constantly learn every day. And the scriptures liken this knowledge as to water, living water that keeps flowing, you know. And with that, I'm gonna just get straight into the lesson. Lord willing, you brothers are edified off this lesson. First scripture we'll go to is Deuteronomy 32 and chapter 2. And it says, "My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass." So now this Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai speaking and saying that his word, his doctrine, his teachings shall drop as the rain, right? And it's the Hebrew word for teach. For doctrine, salachia. It's laquach, which says learning, teaching, insight, instruction, teaching. So the Lord's teachings, this book, these scriptures, is as water. Shall drop as the rain. So the rain, the water constantly flows. So like the apostles always say, man, stagnant water, man. If your water is stagnant, it's not flowing, man. That's that ain't right, because Yahweh Shah said this in St. John chapter 7, verse 37, and he says, "In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahweh Shah stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. It says, He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." So out of his lob, out of his mind, shall flow rivers of living water. Because that's this knowledge. In Deuteronomy 32, it says that the doctrine shall drop as the rain. So the more you learn, the more deeper you get in this knowledge, the more deeper the symbology of the water. Apostle Gabar did a mailbag a couple months back about basically going into the deep. Like, you got to learn how to swim and navigate through the shallow before you can go dive into the deep, because you will fuck around and drown. So next scripture I'm gonna get is John 4 and 14, which says, I'm gonna start at 13. Yahweh Shah answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. And what water he was talking of? He was talking about the literal water that was in the well. Because when you drink literal water, your body needs water, so you constantly got to drink water, so you will thirst again. Verse 14 says, But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. And what's the water that Yahweh Shah had? It's this truth. It's the doctrine. It's the teachings. It's this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. So just like he said in John the 7th chapter, that rivers of living water will be flowing, man. So this is a river that constantly flows. So you should be constantly learning, constantly dealing, constantly growing in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. This is Psalms, the first chapter, the second and third verse. I'm gonna start at the top. Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night, right? Verse 3, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. So this tree is constantly getting watered and nourished, man. That bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So the water is constantly nourishing you, you know, and nourishing you and allowing you to grow in the truth. This is First Corinthians 3 and 6. And it says, I have planted, which the I is Paul speaking. It says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase. So Paul planted the seed and Apollos watered it, meaning Apollos taught and teached and built the brothers up, you know. It says, so then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase. Salaki. It says, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. But the point is the watering part, you know, is the doctrine. You teaching, you know, and you building the brothers up. You giving them that living water, you know. This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 25, which reads, says, the liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Because just like when you out there literally doing garden work, when you watering your plants, that water gets on you as well. So when you teaching and you watering brothers, you're watering yourself also, because you continue in the work, you know. Basically, him that basically is saying him that teaches himself also. You know, this is what the scripture is saying. You know, so when you water, when you keep in this truth and constantly going, you watering not only the brothers, but you watering yourself also, which allowing you to grow more as well. You know, and now I'm gonna jump to Proverbs 18 and verse 4, which says, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. You know, so that's that living water that Yahushua said he would give you, that you would never thirst, that out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. And even King David said in himself in Psalms 42, we'll grab that. Psalms the 42nd chapter, Salakia, and the 7th verse, which says, deep calleth unto the deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Meaning the vastness of this knowledge, man. You know, this knowledge has gone over all of our heads, man, because this knowledge is too vast just for one man. The only man that had all this knowledge in one vessel, meaning in himself, is Yahweh Shah himself. That's why we are compared to his body, because each one of us is members. You know, so each one of us contains a certain amount of knowledge, which makes up 100% knowledge of the body of Yahweh Shah. And now basically I'm gonna get to a couple examples in the scriptures of the knowledge overflowing. This is Ezekiel chapter 47. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, afterward he brought me again unto the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward. For the forefront of the house stood toward the east, and the waters came down from under the right side of the house at the south side of the altar, on the right side, meaning on the righteous side. You know, this is the righteous knowledge, you know, the tree of life. Verse 2, it says, then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the utter gate by the way that looketh eastward, and behold, there ran out waters on the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand, which that line represents, matter of fact, it's going to explain it, had a line in his hand which went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits. So that line was a measuring instrument he had. and he brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles. So when he came through the waters were through the ankles, right? Because he just now learning this truth, just now getting into it. Verse 4. And this is a vision which Ezekiel was seeing. Verse 4, it says, again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters. The waters were to the knees. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters, brought me through, Slakia. I'm going to read it again. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through. The waters were to the loins. Afterward, he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over. So that's this knowledge, man. This knowledge constantly, the more you in it, the more you increase in knowledge, man. That's the waters were to the ankles, then it came to the knees, then it came to his loins, and then he was swimming in it. You know, as King David said, the billows are going over me, you know? And I'm gonna end it with this last scripture. In this is Sirach 24, and I'm gonna start at 25. It says, he filleth all things with his wisdom, as Pison and as Tigris in the time of the new fruits. And those are rivers over in the Middle East. It says, he maketh the understanding to abound like Euphrates, and as Jordan in the time of harvest. He maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the light, and as Gion in the time of vintage. See, now is relating this knowledge, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, these teachings to water. It says, the first man knew her not perfectly, no more shall the last find her out. For her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the deep. And that's why King David said that the deep calleth unto the deep at the noise of the waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are going over me. You know, because we are engulfed in this truth, man. It's so much knowledge to learn, man, that one man can't get it all for himself. That's why we make up the body of Yahweh Shai, you know. Verse 29 again, it says, for her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the great deep. It says, I also came out as a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden. I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. It says, I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, it will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. You know, it says, behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. And that's the point, man. You know, the brook became a river, and the river became a sea. So you become deeper in this knowledge, man, of more understanding, more wisdom. You know, you become wiser, you know, and that's all through the experience, man. You know, in verse 34, you know, one of my favorite scriptures says, behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. You know, as Paul said, you know, I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may obtain the same salvation. You know, so the more you water brothers, the more you water in yourself. The more you give into brothers so they can grow, the more you grow in yourself. So let's stay active in this word, brothers. Let's continue to push these videos, and let's continue to edify each other. Lord willing, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I hope this video was edifying, you know. And till the next time, I would say shalom.